Hey, you guys, good morning. It's me again, Jen. And today we're going to talk about things that I will not do the same, like the Filipino culture or Filipino philosophy, or at least the what I used to know of, from growing up. I will change that. I will change that way. Now that I have a better options, now I have that a good life now. I was born and raised in the Philippines. I left Philippines when I was in my 20s. Okay. And then, but I just went back to the Philippines like a year interval. And then after that, I went to the US 2010. And then after that, I moved to Germany. I know, but of course, it's still US cultures apply, even though I used to live in Germany for 4 years. And then I went back to the US after 4 years. Okay, there you go. This is my story time. As I was growing up in the Philippines, my lifestyle was very different. And of course, I was grew up in the wrong beliefs and wrong tradition and wrong culture. I would say that I disagree with my parents, the past tradition also, or I don't know, culture or whatever they believes, wrong beliefs. Okay, I grew up without knowing a uh, good characters and moral support or good. Uh, how do you say? We're not like really like like in the U.S. here, like you say how are you to your kids, you give a hug to your kids, you say good night to your kids, you say you love them, you say be careful, you say you say nice thing, and then when you see your children crying, you make them feel good. You don't say something bad, you don't put them down just because they were crying. I grew up with that. So when I moved to the US, I see differently, and I kind of like apply the American way. I give my child support and love. I love my child. Of course, I love him, and I support him. And I give him like moral support, of course. Okay. Growing up in the Philippines, I was poor. I said that to my other video before. So I endure so much like struggles growing up in the Philippines, and that I said to myself, I will strive and continue to have a good life. So now we have a good life now, but doesn't mean that I'm not gonna teach my children how to went through hardship too, right? Because you have to learn somehow, but not my hardship that I went through when I was in the Philippines. Mine was like way far from, wow, I don't know how I survived on that one, but I did. I guess I was strong, I was tough. And then I said to myself that I will not uh let my children experience what I experienced before. Like uh when I was a kid growing up, my mother will force us to work, and then when we making money, she will get the money that we earn. We don't have our choice. She would say that, okay, you don't come home until you make money. And we were so afraid. That's why we've been in the street working. And then after that, she said that you don't come home until you finish all that, the product. For example, she will send us to sell the fish, right? And then after that, she'll get the money, and then yeah, and we don't get nothing. We just work our ass off outside, and we don't get nothing. Okay, so I said to myself, I will not do that to my child. I will not apply that to my child. But doesn't mean that I will not teach my son how to save money. I still teach him how to work and how to earn money, but he's a working student. So I told him, you save money, you will not need your money now, but you will need your money one day. Okay, so save your money, I didn't take his money like my mother used to be, And then, yeah. So I said to my son, you will save your money because your money will save you, for when you get older, for when you live on your own, you will need money because you will have your own bills, you will have your own things, and you will have to buy your own food too. So you're gonna need that money. So that's why I never take his money. Even though when we were in Germany, same thing. He was a working student when he was on sixth grade. Yeah, yeah. He started working when he was in sixth grade in Germany. I know Germany is very young. They started working very young, but not like work, work, work. Like for instance, like restaurant, family business. The German, you would see the German people, their children are their own waiter, they serve the food, like restaurant or at the hotel, I see them at the restaurant, their kid is serving the food, and then they'll give their children money, they pay them, and then the children save their own money too. Yes, see. So, but me, I've been doing that with my child too. Since he was a little kid, I've been saving his money. So like since he was like a toddler, okay. So every time he get the cash, like birthday cash, Christmas cash, from Nana and Papa and from us. So I save his money. I didn't spend it for me. I saved that money for him. And then I show it to him. I said, this is your money, okay? One day you will appreciate why I'm doing this for you, okay? This money, I'm telling you, it will help you. This money will save you from anything that you need in the world, for your house, for your internet, for your water bill, for your rent, for your phone bill, for your auto insurance, dental insurance, health insurance. You will need this money for food, for for everything, or for when you lay off from your job, and then you still need some time to look for another job. This money will help you for that, okay? And then, for instance, we are not here anymore in this world, and then you don't know where to go. You don't know where to go to, or you don't know where to come to, right? Well, now there is a way. Now there is a bank that you can just ask for a loan, right? But they will not gonna let you, lend you money if you don't have money, right? So you're gonna start saving your money. Okay. So I explained that to him. Growing up, he knows about the value of money because I explained it to him. Okay. And then yeah, it's not like, so he's not suffering to what I was suffering growing up. Like my money will go expect me to give her money or expect me to send her money every month. So I suffer from that when I was in Korea. My first abroad was Korea. So it was annoying because my mom would always ask me, when are you going to send me money? I don't have food anymore. I don't have money anymore to pay my bills, my water bill, my electric bill. Send me money because I need money. I don't, I was never like that, and I will never be like that to my own children, I will not oblige my children to send me money or to support me for when I get older, That's why I'm working while I was young, working and saving money and, preparing for my retirement too, because I will not let my child carry the burden that I'm carrying. I know there is nothing wrong for helping your parents, but it is just annoying when you see your parents not doing any better and not trying to help themselves to get better, like my mother. She was not trying to, get better, and that's annoyed me so much. Even though I keep explaining it before that mom, she was young back then. She was in her 40 by the time when I was in Korea. And she always kept telling me that, oh, I don't have a job because, how am I going to support myself, And that's why you need to, give me money. And I was like, you're too young. You still can work, And that's why I tried to figure it out. to give her, uh, I mean, to figure it out how she gonna help herself, you know. So I told her, okay, I feel like I'm having a little child who don't understand the thing, you know. But some kid they do understand, but my mother is never like was that. I feel like she's immature, you know. So I told my mother, here is the money to start to begin with, you know. Use this for a business. Don't just rely on me, okay? Because you cannot just rely on me all the time. Because what if, you know, something happens to me? I die in Korea, even though you can help yourself. And then she got mad at me and, you know, she said I was ungrateful, that I didn't want to help her anymore. And then I told her, it's not that I don't want to help you. You know that I gave you money, but I don't like the feeling that you're obligating me to send you money. That's what I don't like. I feel like like when you obligating your children to give you money, to send you money to your parent, it's a big the feeling is like the burden, you know, that you're carrying. So yeah, that's what I feel, because I told my mother, you don't even have to ask me to give you money, you don't even have to ask me to send you money, because I always give you money, I always send you money. It's just the thing that annoyed me is you always demand me for money whenever you feel like it and whenever you want it. And I don't like that, because to me, I that time when I was giving her money, I was budgeting that money for her. That's why, you know, I don't just give her money before, like whenever she needs it. I want her to learn how to budget her money, right? But she never did. She never learned how to budget her money. Well, I know that she have a gambling issue, and that's what I'm thinking. That's where the money go through, and then the cigarettes. That's where the money go through. And of course, if you have gambling addiction and then cigarette addiction, two bad things, you know, and you don't have a job, and you don't prepare your future, you don't prepare your financial, you know, and you don't have a job, of course, then you cannot support your own, you know, problem. You cannot support your own cigarettes and your own gambling. Yeah. And she don't understand that. So I told her, I explained to her a bunch of times, many times. I said, here is the money. I don't know how many times I gave her money just to start, you know, fixing her life. I lost count on how many times I gave her money just to, you know, trying to build her own life, you know. And I was like, I told her, here's the money, go have some business, you know, like a little convenience store, you know. This convenience store, it will be your source of income. Of course, you're gonna learn how to make this convenience store going, you know. You have to you're not gonna like let this blow away because this is your only chance. But no, she blew it all away so many times. And I was left feeling crumbled, you know. I was feeling devastated. I don't know how many times I cried because I just don't understand her, you know, the way she thinks, the way things are doing, you know. And then it was annoying after she blew it all away, the business, the money that I gave it to her. She would go ask to whoever, somebody neighbor, and own money, you know, lend money from them. And then I'm the one who will end up paying that. So I'm the one who left like, hello. I was so annoyed because I never asked money to anyone to, you know, because I don't want to owe money to anyone because I don't know if I'm able to pay that. I'm afraid I don't know how am I gonna pay that, and I don't want to left in or in debit. But my mother, for like many years, she would always owe money to everyone, and then I'm the one who will pay, and not just me, my other siblings too. To my other siblings, to them it's fine, but to me it's not, because I felt like it's wrong. And I was crying. I told her, you know what, you are so lucky because I'm helping you, you know, I'm helping you how to start to fix your life. But you never did. to us, you know. I was growing up. I endure the hardship on my own, and you weren't there to help me. And that's the frustration was built up. You know, I built up so much frustration. I told her, you know what? I left in your place in my elementary, in my sixth grade when I left her. And every time I remember that, it just, you know, making me uh, cry again because, you know, whatever she did was wrong. And then, so I told her, you know what? You didn't even help us when the times that we need you. No, not a single penny, you know, you didn't even help us. So went through the hardship without you. And then now it's fine for you to ask money from me, you know, keep, you know, getting money from me or from your children when you didn't even help us to finish our school, even on like high school. You weren't there to help us. You were somewhere else playing gambling and cigarette while smoking cigarette. And then you know what? I didn't look for you anymore because, you know, I didn't expect you anymore to do your part as a parent because I was busy creating my own life that time. So I forget about that. But then now that she is in her 60 now, she's still doing the same and nothing changed. And that's what I said to myself. I will not do that to my child. I will still work and continue to work and save money and then prepare my retirement for when I get older. I don't have to be like my mother, and my child don't have to go through with that, you know. And that's why I keep, you know, giving good values to my son when it comes to money. That, you know, work, save your money, prepare your retirement, because I want you to be prepared for when you get older, you know, because remember, you're gonna grow old and we're gonna get old too. And one day we're not gonna be here anymore, you know. We're not gonna be here to support you anymore or to help you anymore, at least when you know, when you need help. I want you to be prepared, okay? And so that when you have your own children, you don't have to uh, suffer, or your children don't have to suffer like how I'm suffering, you know. Now but it's a Filipino culture, you know, it's a Filipino beliefs that you have to help your parents until they get old, you know. I mean, it's nothing wrong by helping them, but it's just wrong to obliging your children. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's what my mother, she is always like obligating her children to support her. And she never did something for herself to make herself or to make her life better, you know. I just wish that she is the type of parents who will do everything to, you know, give you her children a good life, you know, and even herself a good life. But I don't know. Yeah, but i'm still I'm still helping her, you know, and I know that one day I'm still gonna help her too, because one day I know that she's gonna get old. She's gonna be like in her well, in 10 years she's gonna be in her 70, and I'm sure that, yeah, that's the time that when she will need our help. Well, my other siblings, they are still helping them, but me, for now, I just, you know, I just want to take a break from it. But of course, I'm still planning how am I gonna be able to help her without, you know, like without giving me a hard time, you know. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. What I'm trying to say too is work while you are young, save money while you are young, prepare your retirement while you are young. So that way, when you get older, the money that you save when you were young is the money that will help you for when you get older, or when, or for when you quit working. Bye.